What does a cage fighter look like? While you ponder that, I don't know myself. I know it when I see it, but I don't know how to describe it. What is a brawler? I hear that term a lot. We only got two stuff where you got brawlers and technicians. There's only two buckets. What's a brawler? Moreover, what does a brawler look like? I don't know myself, but I would know it when I see it. Now, reason I ask you that. Let's say you get in charge and you got to put a picture in the dictionary to accompany the definition of a cage fighter, of a brawler. And you come down to Mike Perry and Robbie Lawler. Whose face are you going to put in that dictionary? Like, if anybody has ever looked like a cage fighter in the history of ever, it's Robbie Lawler. When the UFC came out in 1993 and they made the silhouette of the bald guy and they didn't really know what to do, but they put some muscles on him and whatever it was that they thought would depict a tough guy, they wouldn't have used that image if they had a picture of Robbie Lawler. They would have just put him. Can we agree on that? Do you know of anybody that looks like a fighter more than he does? Okay, great. Well, there is a newer guy. He's a little younger and he's a little new to the scene, but his name's Mike Perry. If you've ever seen him fight, he has redefined what it means to be a brawler. Like, dirty, rotten, filthy brawlers will look at Mike Perry and turn around to their coach and go, man, that guy was a brawler, right? It's one of these things. So, Dave Feldman has an idea to put Mike Perry against Robbie Lawler in a bare-knuckle fight. Now, this is getting rumored and this is coming out. You guys are just hearing about it. I can confirm for you the rumor, at least in regards that Dave Feldman wanted to do that in November of last year. I can't confirm you that it's hot right now, but the mere idea that it's getting out and people are talking about it, I believe it's true. I believe that Robbie is showing more of an interest now than he did, by example, last November. And I also believe in the world of fight announcements. If you were to sit around and just dream, and you've got the power to put two guys against each other, like, I'm not sure that if you had knowledge of amateur wrestling, which I definitely do, if you have knowledge of boxing, which I definitely do, if you have knowledge of professional wrestling, which I definitely do, mixed martial arts, Queen Berry and bare knuckle, I'm not positive in any of those sports you could bring two guys and put them on a poster and make an announcement that's going to have the hardcore fans go, more. I just can't. That is amazing. That is fantastic. That is interesting. Why is it happening? The why can be anybody's reason. Like, they can personalize it. It's not something that I have to understand and relate to, or that you have to understand and relate to, but it is going to be asked. There was a guy, Senator Ted Kennedy, ran for president of the United States one time, and everything's going great. He was at Kennedy, they got a bunch of money, and he was likable, and everything, all the winds are blowing in Ted's question. And a reporter lobbed him a softball right down the middle and simply said, why do you want to be president? And he had absolutely no, his candidacy ended right there. They were live. He had a whole team. The reporter could ask him anything he wanted. They're massive got you moments. That's all that they are. And Kennedy had a team that had prepped him and prepared him. And this was a question more easy, basic, and simple than they ever imagined they would be asked. And he had absolutely no answer for why he wanted to be president. And the reason I tell you that is I don't have to understand Robbie's answer. I just want to know what it is. And I want to know there is one. John Kavanagh, Coach John Kavanagh, SBG Ireland, Conor McGregor's coach, said, this was years ago when Conor was talking coming back, Coach Kavanagh said, I will not train him. I will not allow him in the gym. I won't support this comeback until I sit with him and I get a response to the following question, why are we doing this? That might sound simple to you. That was so powerful to me. That was years ago, and I remember that. Because it's a great question. And Coach Kavanagh is coming from a standpoint of not we have to win it or it's about money, it's about achievements or accomplishments. He was coming from a standpoint of health of his athlete. I have to know there's a motivation. I have to know there's a grit and a determination, or my athlete isn't going to be able to follow the most basic rule, which is to protect yourself at all times, because he won't prepare properly. Like, he didn't say all those things. I just knew that's what he meant. So if Robbie Lawler was to come back, why? You'll hear guys that are like Senator Ted Kennedy that fumble and have no, why I wanted to test myself. Okay, well, you're a dum-dum. Like a moment ago where I said I don't care what your answer is and that it can be anything as long as you have one. Like, I don't have to get it as long as it's true to you. I guess it's not literal, because if you say it's to test myself, you're a dum-dum. In fact, in the world of dumbest things I've ever heard, that might be at the top. I don't even know what it means. Why you would put your own self and health and in jeopardy as a way of testing, I have no idea. I don't know what you get for that. I don't know where that would become a motivation. Like, that sounds like a really stupid thing to do. So let's put the I want to test myself aside. And let's go to a more reasonable and honest answer, like the one that Volkanovski gave us, which is, I go through depression if I'm not a part of this. The choices that I make to do with my time are often negative, but they're not when I'm in this sport. Okay, great. We get it. Is it about the money? Did you blow all your money? Is it about Mike Perry? Are you pissed off at him? Is it about bare knuckle and that's the ultimate rule set? You wish that was around? I gotta tell you, I know a lot of wrestlers that have tried to workshop that. I know a lot of wrestlers in their 50s, 60s, 70s that try to, this ultimate fighting was around back in my day. Boy, I'd have cleaned up, I'd have beaten everybody. I was such a tough guy. Maybe you were and maybe you weren't. Like, we'll never know. It's just one of those things that is that what it is? That would get you off the shelf. Now the skill set is here and the rule set is here and this is what you're made to do. I would find that very interesting. And I spoke to Mike Perry just the other day, and I just said to him, hey, what's going on with Darren Till? I said, what's going on with Darren Till? People seem to really like Darren Till. And by the way, Darren is now signed off to box. In fact, Darren Till is on the undercard of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. So with that in mind, and knowing that Darren Till has been offered the fight against Perry, we're now confronted with what no fighter wants, which is the reality of, I turn someone down. That's a loss. But Mike Perry said that Darren Till publicly did this, and that does change everything. That Darren Till flat out said, I don't like the no. Too dangerous for me. I like the gloves, and it's different, and that's too scary. That's crazy what you guys are doing. Okay, great. Well, then Till's completely off the hook. That changes everything if he openly said that. I never heard him say it. Now, I'm only bringing Till in because that's an active fighter. Active to the point that he's signed to compete on the undercard of Paul versus Tyson. And Robbie Lawler is retired. And by the way, he has never done this. Oh, and by the way, if he's going to come back and train for a brand new sport, which I would think he'd be really good at, like whether he's done it or not, he seems like the kind of guy that could just step in and play. And I love the fight, and I love the idea, and I hope that it's true. Somewhere along the way, Robbie's going to get asked, why are you doing this? And for this to be the mega match that I believe it could, for this to be the sellout and the one that puts them on that, like I believe it could, Robbie Lawler has got to have an answer to that question.